Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel English and Beyond. I'm CJ Roy and in today's class we continue with past perfect tense, but this time around we are going to learn about why and when we should be using past perfect tense. So without wasting any time, let's get started with today's lesson, the usage, when and why we use past perfect tense. Well, we speak about what happened in the past. But then, if there are two incidents happening in the past, and we would like to say one incident took place before the other, so the incident that took place first, that will be the distant past. That is what we use in the past perfect. And the thing that happened in the recent past, second, after the first incident, we use simple past. This you will understand when we go through the examples here. So let's see these examples. First, by the time we arrived, the movie had already started. Just go through the sentence once again. By the time we arrived, we, first person plural, arrive, arrived, arrived. So arrived is V2. So we arrived is simple past. By the time we arrived, the movie, we can use it, the pronoun it for movie. So the movie, it, had. Because past perfect, we use the auxiliary verb had. Already, that's an adverb indicating, something has just happened already. Okay. So the next word is started. Start, started, started. The movie had already started. Which started are we using? The V3 form, because before that we have used here had. So the movie or it had started. It had already started. The movie had already started. So the started verb is V3 form. But arrived, we arrived. There is no auxiliary verb. So we arrived, subject plus V2. That is simple past. But the movie had already done. The movie, subject, had, auxiliary verb, plus V3 form we use. So now let us analyze this sentence so that you will understand clearly. Two incidents took place here, right? One is our arrival. The other one, the movie starting of the movie. Tell me which event or which action took place first, whether we came first or the movie started first. It is always the movie started first. So by the time we arrived, the time we reached, the movie had already started. So movie started first. So the first action is starting of the movie. So what do? We put that first incident in the past perfect. And the second incident or the latest incident or the last incident in the recent past, that incident, we put it into simple past tense. So this is a use of double past we call. We use in one single sentence, we use simple past and past perfect. Second sentence. She had left the office before her manager arrived. She had left the office before her manager arrived. Two things happened. Her leaving the office, her manager arriving. Now, which happened first? Of course, her leaving happened first. So we put that part in the past perfect tense. So how did you put she, third person singular? She had left. Leave, left, left. V3 form. So she had left the office before her manager arrived. Manager, he. Imagine is a masculine. So it's a he, manager, arrived. Again, V2 form. Simple past tense. So she had left the office before her manager arrived. We could also put this before her manager arrived, she had left the office. You put the clause anywhere, no issue. It's the same thing. But remember to put what happened first in the past perfect and what happened last or second in the simple past. Let's see one more example there. They had finished their dinner when the guests came. So two incidents here again. Guests coming, one, and finishing. They are finishing the dinner. Which happened first? They are finishing the dinner. They finished the dinner. After that, the guests came. So when you put it into a proper sentence, it will be they had finished dinner when the guests came. And the last example, the train had departed before we reached the station. So two things happening there again. One is the train's departure, leaving the station, and then our reaching the station. So we wanted to go somewhere. We had reserved our tickets. Then what happened? We were late. So we came running to the station. But before we reached, the train left at its scheduled time. It is not train's fault. It leaves at its scheduled time. But we were late. So how would you put this into a single sentence where we have double past, one in the simple past and other in the past perfect? So we say the train had departed. So departure of the train took place first before we reached the station. So before we reached is simple past. I'm sure this is clear. When we use past perfect tense for experiences before a specific time in the past. Actually, the first that I explained and this one, there isn't much of a difference. In the first two specific incidents we are mentioning, but here we are mentioning one incident with a specific time. So before that specific time, something took place in the past, everything in the past. For example, she had never seen snow before moving to Canada. You understood? So she had never seen, past perfect. She had, saw, seen. She had seen. V3 form. Snow before moving to Canada. The specific time is her moving to Canada. Before that, something did not take place. That is, not seeing the snow. Let's see the next example. He had visited Paris twice before his 30th birthday. The specific time is 30th birthday. Before he attained the age of 30, he had visited Paris twice, 2 times. Next one, they had never eaten sushi before going to Japan. So before going, the specific time, they are going to Japan. They had never eaten. Before that, they hadn't eaten. So they had never eaten. They had. That is past perfect. And the last one, we had never met before the conference last year. So specific time last year. Before that, we had not met. So these are some of the ways or examples where we use past perfect tense. I hope it's clear. Let's wind up past perfect tense with a few exercises. So let's do it together and see how far we have learned this one. So the first one is dash their homework before the teacher collected it. The verb given is finish. So naturally we are learning perfect tense, past perfect tense. So the first one will be had. Had they finished. Which form in the perfect tenses? V3 form. So the third one, had they finished their homework before the teacher collected it? Second one, she dash when we arrived at the station. We arrived, simple past tense. So leave, left, V3 form. So she had left already. Already word we can use. She had already left when we arrived at the station. Third one, by the time the guests arrived, the host dash everything, prepare. And it should be the host had prepared. V3 form. So by the time the guests arrived, the host had prepared everything. And the fourth one, they dash such a beautiful place before their trip to Switzerland, not see. So see is the verb see, saw, seen. And they, any subject, it will be had. Had not, they had not. Which one? V3 form. V3 form of the verb see. So they had not seen such a beautiful place before their trip to Switzerland. Next one, he dashed a foreign country before he went to Japan. Never. It's a negative word here. Instead of not, we use never. And visit, visited, visitor, V3 form. He had never visited. He had never visited a foreign country before he went to Japan. And sixth one, if we dash enough money, we could have bought a car. If we had, past perfect, auxiliary verb had, save. Save is the main verb. What's the past participle V3 form of save? Saved again. Save, saved, saved. We are using V3, not the second saved, which we use in the simple past. So if we had saved enough money, we could have bought a car. The seventh one, the train dashed before we reached the platform. The train had departed. The train had departed before we reached the platform. How many of you got all these 7 answers correct? If you haven't, no issue. We will learn it. Okay, but at least you are getting a fair amount of idea about how past perfect tense is working, right? Well, that's all for today's lesson, and we have completed past perfect tense. Now we know we can identify a sentence if it is given in the past perfect, and we are able to make statements both affirmative and negative, and questions both affirmative and negative in past perfect tense. Well, learners, if you found this session useful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, English and Beyond. And please don't forget to tap the bell icon so you will never miss our next English class. Until we meet again in the next lesson, keep learning, keep practicing, keep growing with English and Beyond. Thanks for watching. Take care.